How'd you like that intro?
Welcome to Power Rangers Playback. Guys, thank you so much for being with us. At the end of the show, we're going to have a giveaway.
We are at 17,000 subscribers.
Yes, so we are so excited. And as promised, we're going to give away to 2 of our subscribers.
Yes.
And what are they getting? Where's mine?
This
it's over
Pudgy
here.
Pig from Mighty Morphin. He was a very popular monster.
Yes.
So that's one. And then Rita.
10,000 years.
Hooray!
Yes, but enough of that. We have a fabulous guest today.
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
Yes. Many years ago, I worked with him on the beach of Castaic Lake. You know him as the yellow alien ranger. I think I'm saying it right. Titus.
Well,
T-I-D-E-U-S.
We might be wrong. We'll see. But he was the first yellow male ranger in the American side.
No. Oh, yeah.
On the American side.
Yes, you're right.
Yes.
But he was alien. So was he?
But he was still...
It's curious.
Yeah.
Maybe they were androgynous.
Maybe. But without further ado, welcome Jim Gray.
Hey!
How are you?
I'm good. Thanks you guys for having me on your thing. Whatever this is amazing.
It is our YouTube channel. We've had our YouTube channel for a little over a year, and we started it right before COVID. We had this idea and decided to run with it, and then COVID hit, and it gave us a little bit more time to come up with content and all of that. And yeah,
it's been a real blessing in our
lives. That's fantastic.
Yes. So what have you been up to? Tell us a little bit about your life right now.
Well, I'm a real estate agent, and I live in upstate New York in Rochester. That's where I was born. And I've been doing that, gosh, for, 10, 12 years now. I lived out west for a long time, Los Angeles and Las Vegas and a couple other places. But Rochester is home for me, and that's where I am now.
Yay. Love the East Coast.
Yeah, right.
I love it too. The cold is just a little much for me.
This one wears a snow jacket to Florida in the summer, so she would not do well in cold climates.
I'll tell you something. Once the thermometer hits 50 degrees out here, it's beach weather, baby. We're like, yeah, put on your Speedo or head into the lake.
You're so used to it because you grew up in it. So it's like my husband, well, actually both of our husbands are from New Jersey. So yeah, and they didn't know each other at the time. It's funny how we end up marrying someone from New Jersey, but my husband is not interested in going back to the cold, the shoveling and all of that. So God bless you.
Yes.
Yeah. What you miss the sunshine. So when I lived in California, 300 days of sunshine, that's the tough part. In the Northeast where I am now, you can go 2 weeks without the sun, which gets a little rough.
Yes. Yeah, there's something about the sunshine that makes you feel happy.
It's true.
Yeah,
it's true. I have a friend that lived in London for a while, and she came from here and went to London, and she was out there for a while, ended up getting married, had some babies, and she was like, I can't do this anymore. She started to feel very depressed and ended up moving back here just because of the weather. But there's some people that really enjoy it. My son.
With the seasons, you guys are amazing. I mean, we just went through fall, and the colors it really is amazing. And having snow at Christmas time is amazing.
Yeah, that's a plus. I do love the snow in the winter. But we were just in South Carolina, and the trees, I was like, oh, I was just seeing all the colors. It was so pretty.
Yeah,
so pretty.
Saying a shout out to our channel members over here. We have Scott, we have Lucretia, we have April, we had Jason,
Katie,
Josh. So tell us how you started on Power Rangers. What was your audition process?
Yeah. Well, so okay, thousands of years ago, after the Earth's crust had just cooled,
the dinosaurs were dead.
Yeah. There was a now you got to remember, this is like 26, 7 years ago. there was a publication they put out, if you guys remember. I think it was called Backstage, right?
Backstage
Backstage
West.
West.
Backstage West. There you go. And I was leafing through it, and there was an audition, a call, right? It didn't give much information. Basically male. I'm like, well, let's see. I'm male, so I guess I'm probably perfect. So I show up to the address, and like you guys know, there's like 1,000 guys in line, literally. And it's just a line that wraps around the building. I'm just like, crap. So I wait all day in this line. And then, I get into the building. They handed out sides, right? So little bits of script that you kind of memorize. And I had gone to graduate school. I have a Master of Fine Arts in theater and acting, right? So I spent 3 years in a black box, as a serious actor. And they handed me my side. So I did all my preparation, and I walked into the room and I read, and and of course they all kind of looked at me like, okay. And I left thinking, well, that was a waste of 17 hours. And then my agent got a call and said, oh yeah, they'd like to see you again. I'm like, really? They do? So I went back, I read again. I ended up going like 3 times. I think I read 3 times. It might have even been 4 times. I heard nothing. I was in Michigan doing a play in Michigan because I'm trying to be a professional actor. And I'll never forget, I was rehearsing, right? I was the guy from LA, in Michigan doing the play, trying to keep my dignity intact. And I got a call, and it was my agent saying, hey, you just booked the Power Rangers. I'm like,
How long in between was that from your first audition to the booking?
yeah, it had to have been 6 months probably.
Oh wow, really?
Oh god.
What a trip. Wow.
Yeah.
So they were probably auditioning for it while they were in doing the movie. The first
Yes.
one.
Yeah. Yes. I seem to recall that was the movie was either being shot or had just been wrapped, or that first cast, as I recall, had done, I don't know how many episodes. I mean, like a lot of episodes.
Yeah.
And they needed a break. It was the kind of
Yes.
what I had heard.
Because
Right.
they pretty much went. They never got a break between the series and the movie. So they were just in Australia and everything. So yeah, it was to give them a break. But I didn't want a break because I had just gotten on the show. I was like, what?
I just got here. I'm ready to go.
Wow. That's interesting. So
Did you know you were going to be yellow?
Okay, so of course, where I find out like I'm on the Power Rangers, like this is fantastic. I'm like, what color am I? And my agent didn't know, so I can't remember. I just I remember one of the producers called me like, what color am I? And she goes, oh, you're yellow. And I'm like,
Huh?
and I'm thinking, isn't the yellow Power Ranger a girl? Because I'm not going to wear a dress. I mean, I look terrible in women's clothing. So anyway, I had to kind of get my brain around that a little bit. Yes, but that's when I found out I was yellow. I was like, well, all right, whatever. It's a job.
I guess my confusion was because I was just thinking, I was like, okay, they got that 6 months before. So what was the Super Sentai? What were they called? Were they called Alien Rangers?
No.
My
my understanding was that they were originally just going to do that suit as the next season. So we would have been at that suit. But they wanted to give the cast a break. So that's why they thought, well, how can we keep the Power Ranger theme and the superhero and the Zords and all of that going and give them a break. So that's
interesting.
Yeah.
Well, we have a
super. We didn't
super
tell them
chat.
about the
We
super chat
didn't.
dance.
Jim, there's a
What?
dance.
There's a dance that we have to teach you.
Yes.
There's a dance.
Gosh,
It's like, oh, gosh,
I'm
done.
out of here.
So we get what we call super chats, where people actually pay for their
question to be asked.
Oh, this was the first one. So he had 2 of them. Let me do this one first.
So yes, so they pay for us to ask you a question, and then we give them a little extra.
So
So
Okay.
the little.
so you think that get your mind out of the gutter.
So basically, super chat, raise them up high, and then we read the question. Can you do that with us?
What is it now?
Super chat,
raise them up high. Yes.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Thank
All
you.
right, this comes from Skyhound, one of our channel members. Was there any particular stories that you would like to have been explored regarding the Alien Rangers that wasn't addressed in the show?
They did ask us that. I remember, I don't know if this ever happened with you guys, but I was sitting with one of the writers on the show, and he asked me a question like that. Do you have any thoughts on storylines? And I said, well, it might be cool to have some sort of backstory between the aliens before they got there, some sort of some experience that kind of slowly comes out, right? So maybe Delphine had a relationship with one of the other aliens, or something happened, and this whatever that occurrence was sort of comes out over time, so you kind of discover something about the alien rangers that maybe you didn't know. And we talked about different scenarios, but we never got to that, unfortunately.
Okay.
Well, that's interesting that they asked you, though.
Yeah.
I thought it was strange too. I remember thinking, really? Because I got a ton of ideas. Mostly centered around my character.
Yes, exactly.
And they're like, but we're not giving you writing credit. Just want you to know that.
Oh yeah, that's right. Absolutely. Yeah.
We have another super chat. Super chat. Raise it up.
Super chat. Okay.
Yes.
Very nice. This is from Buffalo Ditka. What would be your advice to those working to be a Power Ranger? What would be your advice to those wanting to be a Power Ranger or acting in general?
Ooh, that's an interesting question. Well, A, stay in school. B, when I think back to it, right? You really have to commit. If you really have an idea that you want to be a professional actor in particular, you really have to commit. Number one. Number two is you have to cultivate a pretty thick skin, because you're going to hear no a lot. Right. Right. So all that to say, the other thing too is I really, it's likely there are really only two places you can be if you think you want to be a pro. And I think it's either LA or New York. So you might have to think about, how do you get there? It's interesting that question in particular. A million years ago, now you might find this hard to believe, but I didn't look like this, right? My hair was curly and brown, and I basically looked like everybody else. I often think that I'm probably more castable now, looking like this.
Yeah, right.
You know what I mean?
Making yourself, stand out.
Right.
Different.
It's the gray bearded guy with the hair that kind of sticks up. Oh yeah, that guy.
Right. It's a great beard.
Thank you.
I actually want to comb it with my fingers.
I think your husband might have an issue with that.
My friend Jamie did that when we were at a convention. This man who had a beard like you, she was so fascinated, and then she just reached out and was stroking it. I said, "What are you doing?" And she goes, "I couldn't help it. I was mesmerized."
And he was okay with it?
He was just standing there looking at her, and we just all started laughing. And she's like, "What is wrong with me? I'm touching random men."
Can I tell you? Maybe that's a thing. That has happened to me before.
Just people just touch. I mean, it's kind of weird. It's like when
you're pregnant women.
Yeah. People touch your belly, and you're like,
I don't know.
Hello.
Yes, very strange. I actually have a question. We were watching.
Is it a new question though? Can I just
piggyback?
I just wanted to piggyback on something that you said about living in New York and
It
LA.
was to do with that. But
oh, okay.
Can Can I?
Yeah. No, I
Okay.
thought it was a separate question.
No. It was to do with this, but not that question.
Oh, okay.
So I just wanted to say, because you said in tying into this, did you start acting in New York or did you go straight to LA? Because you lived in Rochester. So I was
Yeah. So what happened was, my plan back in the day was I wanted to go to graduate school. So my thinking was I'll get a graduate degree. I will go to New York, and if acting doesn't work out, I can teach theater at the college level. That seems like a good plan. The school I got into was the graduate program at Cal State Fullerton. So I went to Southern California,
yeah.
did 3 years there, got an MFA, and by that point I'd gotten a job at Universal. So I was already living, in Los Angeles. We got an apartment in West Hollywood. So, that's kind of how life worked out for me. So I didn't end up going to New York. We ended up staying in LA.
Okay.
And mine is a follow up to something that you said as well. You were saying that giving the advice that if they wanted to get into acting, LA or New York. But I also wanted to say was Atlanta has really opened up. And since COVID, it has become, everything has been online.
Yeah.
Everything is, auditions are online, which makes it, somewhat a little bit easier because you're not in the room necessarily with them, except when you have producer sessions, then you're online with them. But it has changed so much since COVID that you could basically be anywhere for auditions.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah, like there's been times she's had to bring her light, like she has a light and a setup and a tripod and everything. And it seems like she always gets an audition when we're traveling to a convention or something. And we figure it out. We move the furniture. I'm her reader.
That's great.
Yeah, she's gotten like super professional at it. Because the first time before COVID, it was very stressful to get auditions like that because you're not used to it. Now it's like, okay, let's do this. Just get on.
Yeah. It's I would say for those that had tension going inside of the room with the producers and you get really nervous, this is definitely an easier way because you can take as much time as you want to prepare. The only thing is when you have a producer session, because you still get a producer session, but it'll be online, and then you don't see the eyes. There's like 20 people watching
right
on the computer, and you still get nervous, but you're not in the room. So that's how it's changed. Yeah. But I agree. You have to have some thick skin because
thick skin is I think important.
Oh, very much so.
While we're scrolling for here we go. She found it already. Next question.
This one right here.
Yes.
Okay.
Super chat. Raise it
up.
He's doing it
He's
fast.
like, what happened?
I know. We change it up sometimes. Sorry. Okay, Skyhound, one of our channel members again. How long was the application for the prosthetic for the Alien Rangers? Also, how was the voice modification done on the Rangers?
Okay, so the prosthetic head. Let me tell you. So one of the you got it. You're great. That's great. Oh, Jim, by the way, are you claustrophobic? And I'm like, oh no, not claustrophobic, not afraid of heights. I can ride a horse. I can shoot an arrow, whatever. The answer is yes or no. Yes, no, I don't know. Well, so I didn't know. We knew nothing, right? All I knew I was going to be on the Power Rangers. We were Power Rangers from another planet, blah, blah, blah. Well, we find out that they're making these prosthetic heads. And I'm not kidding when I say this. The reason they asked if we were claustrophobic is because they stuck our heads in a bucket of plaster. So I was covered in plaster up to my nose. So I was in plaster, right? You could feel the plaster. It was to the tip of my nose and it was over my ears. So I want you to imagine, and they say, we're going to put you in, and it's going to take about 20 minutes. You're going to be in there for about 20 minutes, to let the plaster harden. And of course, I'm like, okay, I'm sure it'll be fine. And they say, they tell me, and you give us a signal. And if you start to freak out, just give us a thumbs down, and then we'll take care of it. I'm like, no, I'm gonna be fine. It's gonna be great. So they stick my head in a bucket of plaster, and
Hold on, like this, like
yeah,
that.
yeah. Well, we weren't upside down. They
This
had
way.
us. They had it kind of. I remember laying back, and somehow the plaster, the whatever the material was, they put it over the top of us, so we were kind of leaned back and stuck in it this way.
How did you breathe?
Through your nose. But remember, the plaster, the whatever that, it didn't like pour out, right?
Yeah.
It was already kind of viscous, and they kind of pressed your head in there, as I recall.
Right. Ooh.
So, um, so I'm in there, and I'm like, thinking of wide open spaces. I'm, recalling everything that's ever happened to me since I was a child. And I could feel, I don't know if you ever had that. Have you ever had that just that strange feeling of freak out that
Yes.
you're trying, to keep,
To cope.
yeah. And because I'm thinking, if they can't make the mask, I can't be on the show, and I have to be on the show, so I can't freak out. So I'm in there for what feels like for friggin' ever, right? And so and I can hear them, like they're talking to me, but it sounds very far away, and they're asking, you okay? You okay? And I keep giving the thumbs up, keep giving the thumbs up. But at one point, that freak out just kind of, it popped up, and I could feel myself like starting to freak out.
Yeah.
So I give the thumbs down, right? And then I can hear like scuffling and moving around and talking. And then I hear something that sounds like a helicopter. And then this sound, like a buzzsaw, is like really loud. And the next thing, the whole bucket of plaster is shaking. And what I realized, oh, they're cutting the plaster off my head with like a saw. That's what they're doing right now. So they're sawing it. Sawing it. They're cutting it around this way, like that. I can hear them. I'm like, this is okay.
Not
You guys
good.
know it's a non-union shoot. We're making a few
Yes.
bucks, right? It's not. It ain't industrial light magic. Who knows? It could be like a chainsaw. Some guy bought at Lowe's, and the guy's working for $5 an hour, probably not sober,
Oh my
and
gosh.
he's cutting this thing off my head. And then finally they rip it off. So what was the question? Yeah, so it took about 20 minutes for that. And what it looked like, literally, if you've ever seen a death mask, it was like a perfect impression of our heads. So they used those molds to create the prosthetic. And then what they would do is every time we go into makeup, each one of us had our own prosthetic, and they would apply it while we were in the chair. And I don't recall, we weren't in the makeup chairs very long, but it was like maybe an hour, maybe less even. Oh, and then on the voice modification, that all happened in post. So we just spoke normally, and then when they were editing it, they put in that watery, warbly sound.
Yeah. What about who came up with the
So yeah. So that was all the producers. Yeah, exactly. So we probably spent like maybe a day trying to figure out, how do the alien Power Rangers move? What's their signal? How do they carry themselves? How do they speak? So it was kind of like the actors and the producers all sort of working this out for almost a day, and then rehearsing it, and that's kind of what they settled on.
Okay.
That was really interesting. We were watching
The first
one of the episodes, yeah, and you're meeting the kids, and you guys are like
touching them.
How do you remember? Do you happen to remember that day? Was it awkward? Did you guys have to keep retaking, or were the kids?
Can I tell you, the kids? Listen, here's what I recall: the kids on that show were straight up pros, man. So it was like touch my hair, pick my nose. It doesn't matter. If the script says do it, then we're doing it.
Oh, good.
So it was really, uh, my experience was it was a pretty well-oiled machine.
The kids were good to work with.
Kids were good to work with. They were easy, as I recall. A lot of parents on set, but these kids, you know, I mean, I didn't know them very well. Most of them, as I recall, had done other things. So they were ready to. They were as professional as we were, for sure.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
We had missed this. I missed this earlier. So we have another super chat from one of our channel members, Michael Valadivia. Super chat, raise them up high. Good afternoon, Kat, Nakia, and Jim. How are you? I am
Michael,
well.
I'm well also. How are
I'm pretty good.
you? Fun fact, Jim, I did a couple of episodes of your season. I came back as she was meeting me as different versions of herself. And I became friends with Raja, and Raja's boyfriend at the time became my personal trainer. And then he actually trained Nakia, he trained my husband, and yeah, so he's still a friend to this day. It's so funny.
Oh, that's great. Yeah, crazy.
Yes. Okay, next super chat is from Kenny Shibata,
One
who's
of our
one of our channel members. Super chat, raise them up high. Don't forget me. I'm here. We could never forget you, Kenny. I'm here. Hi, Titus. Is it Titus or Titty?
It's I like to say Tidius, but I think it's called. I think that most people pronounce it Tidius.
Tidius. Okay.
I like Tidius.
Tidius.
Yeah, that's what I like.
Or Jim, how are you? How did it feel to be the first male Yellow Ranger?
Well, okay. If I'm being honest, I wanted to be the Red Ranger, man. That's what I wanted to be, the Red Ranger, right? But it ended up being very cool, right? It's kind of a cool piece of Americana. Power Rangers is so much in the public consciousness. I'm probably two things. I'm certainly the first male to play yellow, and I might be the oldest living Power Ranger.
I'm
not sure about that, Jim.
Yeah.
Really? Okay.
Yeah. How old are you?
57.
How old is Walter? Walter is 50. Walter's in his 50s too.
So is Amy.
Yeah, it's interesting. Walter and we might be the same age now that I think about it.
Yeah. Wow.
All right.
What do you know?
I love that. I needed to stream back through this because I wanted to make sure that I didn't miss any super chats, because we try to get those first.
Do you have any desire to still act?
Oh yeah. I don't think you ever lose that bug necessarily, So yeah, I mean, if it's funny, I've often thought when I was in LA, I guess, again, 1,000 years ago, dinosaurs had recently just been extinct. There was a woman who was in Los Angeles. Her name was Kathy Jewston. If you look her up, you'll see she won an Emmy. She came to LA. She retired as a nurse. She worked for 30 years, she was from Wisconsin, but her dream was to be an actress. So she worked as a nurse for 30 years. She came to LA. She and I did plays together, and she was just funny. She was the old foul-mouthed lady. That was kind of her shtick, and she got cast like crazy. She was on the first season of West Wing. She was the secretary to Martin Sheen's The President, and then she was on Desperate Housewives, and she won an Emmy. So I often think, gosh, maybe when I retire, maybe I'll give it another shot.
Yeah. Sometimes too, when you come back to something with older and wiser and less, I don't know, desperate,
tainted.
Yeah, you actually, and you're right. You have the luxury of not caring.
Yeah, like you've created a life for yourself. You have a career. There's not the same level of like, I have to get this, and so
right.
you carry that into the room, a different level of confidence and be more grounded. It may serve you really well. I often think that because I gave up years ago. I quit when I was like 29 or 30, something like that. Not long after the show, because I just didn't like who I was and how it was making me feel about myself. And I often think that, like, gosh, if I went back now, like, what would I carry? Like, I would carry a different energy,
Yeah.
I think, into the room
Oh yeah.
instead
Yeah. I
of
totally
wanting to
get
be
it.
such a people pleaser.
Mm.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sitting here in thought, and I'm like in
Mm.
between all of that because I'm still in the business, but I do a lot of questioning on certain levels, and um so yeah, it's been an interesting time. I've had years of where I've worked consistently, like all the time, and then there's like those dry spells where you're like, can I just get some water? um and it's like now I'm like, I need to figure out what I truly want. I really want to produce. I really want to produce. I really want to create jobs for other people. That's really on my heart right now. So I just need to figure out all of that.
Mm. Yeah. You'd be amazing at it.
Thank you.
Mhm.
Now the super
Super
chat.
chat!
Super chat. Raise them up high. Zachary Bowers, one of our channel members. Would you be willing to do a Forever Yellow Ranger episode?
Yes.
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 You
Of
and the
course.
ladies.
Yes. Are there
Oh yeah.
any other male yellow?
No, there's the Sentai yellow. The
No,
Sentai
American version.
No.
No.
There's oh yes, there is another male in Ninja Steel. Nico. He was
Nico
the
was
Yellow
yellow?
Ranger. Yes. He's the only male ranger after you, and that was only like 3 seasons ago.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was yellow.
She
So
was
you
Were
yellow.
you?
be with me. I came in during the Alien Rangers as my little girl, the little version of me.
Were you
So I
Zio?
met you. Yeah, I remember. I met all of you. I remember being on because Kareem he bought me a heater.
You were cold back then.
I was cold in my dressing room, and he bought me a heater.
Aw.
And we would hang out. So I worked with the Alien Rangers. I can't remember to what extent.
You know why? Because he came back for an episode when
Yeah, Raj and Kareem came
Raja
back
came
for an
back.
episode.
Yeah, it was Kareem, Raja, and then remember Billy went off with the Aquatarian woman? It was
Yes.
when Billy was going back. They brought the Alien Rangers back to help him because he was getting old.
You're
and-
so good with
How did I
remembering.
remember
Good
that?
job.
Oh, I'm not an old lady after all.
No, I
You're
forget-
not old.
I forget
I'm old.
lots of things. Okay, we have
Mhm.
quite a bit of
Yes, some
super
more
chats
super
here
chats.
that I'm trying to
Oh,
not
goodness.
miss.
Chris,
I have to go
oh
backward.
goodness, go backwards, Nikki.
Okay, that was Zachary.
There we are. We're up to Chris
What-
Colca, who
Chris
is one
Colca.
of our channel members.
Super chat, raise them up high.
Chris says, "Do you think an Alien Ranger reunion could ever happen?"
Well, it's really interesting, right? I mean, it's really interesting. What is just kind of funny to me is I the Facebook has allowed the fans to kind of find us out, right? The Alien Rangers, we did, I think it was 10 episodes, maybe 11. So we were in and gone, right? Um, and so I just forgot about it. Well, you guys, the fans have kind of found us all, and we've all been chatting on Facebook for the last maybe several months. So I've been chatting with Alan, with Raja, with Kareem, just recently with David. So we're trying to find a way to do maybe an in-person, like a signing together, the 5 of us. It would be the first time in almost 30 years. So the answer is we would certainly do it if the powers that be thought there was some sort of economic benefit to them. So, but sure, heck yeah, if they wanted to do it, we probably would do it. The 5 of us have already sort of been chatting about, like Power Morphicon. I never heard of these things until like literally, you guys, probably a year ago during the pandemic.
Okay.
Wow.
I didn't know. I just didn't know. My agent, I told him, I said, does anybody care about the yellow alien Power Ranger? I mean, literally, does anybody care? And he's like, oh yeah, people, yeah, they'd be kind of interested.
Actually very popular. People really loved the Alien Rangers series. They loved the storylines. Yeah, it was very popular.
I feel bad because I've been on panels where they ask me questions and I'm like,
I don't remember.
I don't really know, but I know there's somebody in this room who does know.
That's still me.
We say things, we're like, and then this monster, and our fans are like, no, that's wrong.
Well,
Right.
we just got corrected right now. There's
Yes.
actually been Brandon, whom you know,
Your
Brandon,
agent.
your agent, says
Yeah.
there has been 5 male Yellow Rangers.
There we go.
If anybody would know, Brandon would know.
Yes.
Brandon would definitely know.
You began a trend.
Yes.
You were the father.
I was the first. Well, I was the first here in America, I guess, right?
Yes. Yes. Exactly. Next question for you.
Chad Wilson.
Chad. Super chat. Raise them up high. How about we do robot? Oh, he did a little.
Yeah. Ah.
Yes, there we go.
Love the Alien Rangers. We need more of them in the Ranger universe. Did you know how the alien voices were going to sound before you filmed?
Oh, that's a good
No, we didn't. In fact, no, we didn't know anything. When I showed up the first day to shoot was the first day I saw my costume.
Oh.
Done. So we did measurements, we did fittings, but the costume was in several pieces, and I'd never seen it all together. So I remember being in the trailer, not quite sure how to put it all on. A nice costume lady helped me. We all kind of walked out. We're like, no, apparently this is what it is.
Velvet, I remember. Velvet.
What is it?
Velvet. That's exactly right.
Purple velvet.
Yes.
Velvet. Yes, with gold painted wrestling shoes.
Yes. And those head prosthetics, that was something else, I tell you.
It looked like your brains were outside of your
Yeah.
head.
Yeah. It was
Yeah.
interesting.
It was
Yes.
very interesting.
I wonder how
Yeah.
they came up with that look.
Huh.
Who thought purple, gold, and brains would be a great look?
Well, it worked.
It did.
It worked. All right, super chat. Super chat. Raise them up high.
Tim Dacus. Hi, Kat and Nakia. And hello, Jim. Did you know the Alien Rangers battled against Divatox in the last 2 episodes of In Space called Countdown to Destruction?
Really?
Wow.
No, I did
No.
not know that.
Well, who did your voice then, I wonder? Someone copied your voice.
It must
Somebody
be
probably, yeah.
Yeah.
Wow, that's amazing. Okay, that's
Yes. there
when
you
when
go.
I wonder what season that was.
In Space. It was it came
After
after
Turbo.
us. Yeah, after Turbo.
Yeah.
It was
Okay.
like 2000. No, it was not 2000. We got up to
99?
97.
Yes.
Oh no, it was the 90s. It wasn't 2000 yet. In Space was still the 90s, I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Katie. Did we do Katie?
No, I'm trying to go
Oh.
back because it's going
Oh,
down.
goodness.
So I'm
Oh,
trying to make
goodness.
sure I didn't miss any more here.
No,
Okay.
you're good. You're
I'm
good.
I'm
Next super chat is from
good.
Katie Monnier. Super chat. Raise them up high.
What was your favorite episode to film, and did you like working with your castmates, darling?
I actually I've gotten asked this question a lot. First of all, I loved those guys, man. We had great fun. I just remember laughing a lot. We were I don't know, maybe it was because it was just 10 episodes, right? So we were just so happy to have a job, right?
Yeah.
So happy to, like, I had a trailer that I could go into, right? And we just had the greatest time. All those guys were really great people, super professional. So it was so much fun to go to work every day. You know, and it's funny. It's, you know, I'd have to ask the other guys, but one of the last days of shooting, we were at Lake Castaic, right? Because we shot a lot out there, as you guys probably remember.
Mhm.
And there was that day we were shooting something, you know, the alien Power Rangers have to rehydrate. That was our thing, right? I'll never forget, we were shooting on the beach. The lake was behind us, and there was a hill. You could see up the hill, and some school was having a field trip at Lake Castaic. So the buses pull up, the kids get off, but guess what? The kids realize, holy cow, that's the Power Rangers. So I'm looking up the hill, and I see all of these children like charging down the hill. And I'm thinking, we're going to get crowded into the water, and I'm wearing my velour suit. So that was a fantastic memories.
That's so funny.
So what
I
did the
think
kids
I
do?
remember that. I vaguely remember that. That was the last episode we filmed with you on the beach.
Yeah, you guys were probably there. I don't know if you remember,
I
but there were
think I
kids
remember that.
everywhere. Yeah.
They had to get security and stuff.
They had to get secure. They had to stop everything because like the kids are like running around. Kids are just walking up to me, chatting with me. I'm like, what's happening? What are we doing right now?
That's great.
That's
so when
funny.
you were filming, because you did 10 episodes, had your episodes start airing yet? When you were still filming?
While we were filming?
Yeah. Because would the kids have recognized you as the alien ranger? Did they know were alien?
No. So yeah, I see what you're saying. No, they as far as I know, they hadn't started airing. I'm sure actually that what probably the people the kids recognized, Kat, were you guys.
Yeah. Yeah. Or they saw the costumes or something.
The costumes. Oh yeah, sure.
Yeah. Yeah. So funny.
That's amazing. Oh, you made their day. That's a great
so
memory for
cute.
them.
Yeah, incredible. The other thing too, on another note, it was just amazing. I didn't real what made me realize the Power Rangers was a far bigger deal, perhaps, than I had imagined. I don't know if this happened for you guys, but there were kids from the Make-A-Wish Foundation that would be on set, and I remember thinking, wow, this kid's wish is to meet the Power Rangers. And we were the second string Power Rangers, and they were still on set. It was amazing to me.
Yeah, I know. That was one of my favorite things of being on the show.
Yeah.
It was really special.
Yeah, it meant a lot.
Yeah.
Another super chat. David, one of our channel members. Super chat, raise them up high. Hi, Kat, Nakia, and Jim. I just tuned in, not sure if this was asked, but Jim, did you realize how popular Power Rangers was when you came on?
You just said that.
Yeah, I guess when I kind of knew, but I really found out. I kind of knew when we were doing it. Kind of like it's like a phenomenon. But may I say, I'm really kind of just sort of shocked and bowled over that this many years later, there is this much energy around that show. I mean, I'm kind of shocked. Brandon, the fellow who represents me, he tried to explain it to me. I'm like, dude, you're crazy. Nobody cares. I'm just telling you, nobody cares.
It's true. So the first convention Nakia and I did was in 2009, and it was called Anime Expo in LA. And we got contacted by this guy, JC, and he's like, are you interested? And I think he reached out to us on Facebook, and would you be interested in doing this convention? And we were like, what's a convention? And he's explaining it to us. And then I said, well, what am I supposed to bring? And he said, just a headshot, or I can make a picture up for you. And I'm like, okay. And this is for Power Rangers? And is that even still on? And so she goes the day before me, and she says, she calls me and she's like, oh my gosh, Kat, there's like lines of people here to see us. This is crazy. Like, she said there is people, they know who we are. They want to get pictures with us. I'm going, are you serious? And I've just had babies, so I'm like in baby land, and I show up, and it was really crazy. And I thought, wow, like all these years later, and still, it feels like it's still almost more popular now than it was when I was on the show.
I've learned more about the Power Rangers, I think, in the last year than I think I knew collectively in the last 25.
Same here. Yeah. Social media has a lot to do with, I think, the popularity and the fact that Netflix had all the Power Ranger episodes. So that was really, really helpful to fans because it became generational when they were able to, we have grandparents and parents and then their children all coming. So that was definitely a benefit to.
That happened to me. I had fans walk up who they themselves were the fan, but they brought their kids. So they're, they're grown-ups married with jobs and kids.
And you think you're meeting the kid and they're like, oh no, I'm the fan.
Right. Exactly. Like,
blessing.
Yes. Yeah, it's really cool.
Blessing.
Major blessing. Did we
Okay,
get all our super chats?
No.
No.
We're trying to get all the super chats and trying not to keep you on here forever either. So
Chris
let us
Colker.
know when you need to
Okay.
vacate the premises. Okay. Chris
Colker,
Colker, one of our channel members. Super chat. Raise my pie.
Do you remember when the yellow and blue alien rangers walk through the car wash?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. We only
Rejuvenate?
did it 1 million times. Yep.
Really?
They had to rejuvenate.
Okay, so then how many wardrobe changes did you have? Because you got wet, right?
We did not get wet. Oh no, it was all Hollywood magic. Nope.
Oh.
we just kept doing the shot over and over and over again.
Oh,
Interesting.
they CGI'd the water in.
I guess so.
Okay.
Yeah, it was a I can't remember, but I'm pretty sure it was a working car wash that they had shut down for the day.
Oh, how funny.
And what? So I'm not familiar with the episode. So you walked through, and then what?
Well,
happened?
the Equation Power Rangers, you know. In fact, I'm not even sure if I know this. I think I've probably been told this by the fans, to be frank. But yeah, we had to be near water. If we were away from water for too long, you know, that's bad. So we had to rehydrate. So in this episode, you know, the only place we could find to rehydrate was a car wash.
Oh.
Yes.
Oh,
So even though we were serious, we were up to hijinks.
Now
I remember that day too, because I was always amazed. You know, we of course we had these beautiful trailers, and then the guys that were in the suits doing all the fighting, they had them all stuffed in a little trailer, and you'd see them kind of come springing out, doing all the moves. I'm like, man, that's really the hard work.
It's crazy. You're so right. We talk about our stunt guys and just how fantastic they were.
They were incredible.
The helmets, they're out there in 119-degree weather. It's non-union, so you're not treated the greatest. When we did the movie, because after it left, we did this Zeo, then we did the Turbo movie. And the way that they filmed the first movie in Australia compared to the way that they filmed the second movie, it was like two completely different worlds. The budget that they had like millions. I don't even know. Karen talked about how wonderful it was. Like my jaw just dropped, and I was like, "What?" Because they ended up having trailers like shared trailers.
I changed in the back of a car. We were filming this scene in Tennessee, and Jason, Frank, and I had to do this scene, and they wouldn't pay for trailers. So we had to share a car. Like they would hold a sheet up for me and to change, and then he would, and it was ridiculous. Absolutely.
God bless. You know, for the first movie. Now that I think about it, for the first movie, you know, I auditioned to do voiceover work in it.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
And I did not get cast.
That's okay. That's okay.
I did a lot of voiceover work for the show when I left. I did.
Is that right?
Monster voice stuff. Yeah.
I remember we did that too. It was mostly like,
Well, Scott was like, the show went union when we left, and so he's like, I'm going to get you residuals, and I literally get like 50-cent checks. You know?
Yeah.
Nice.
Something.
I just want to give a shout out to Matthew Smith. There was no question there, but it was a super chat.
Super chat. Raise them up high.
Matthew Smith. Thank you. This one is Ron Hernandez. Super chat. Raise them up high.
Wow, that beard is legit. Looking good, ladies.
Aww,
thank you, Ron. It is legit. It's
too legit. Too legit to quit. Hey, hey.
There's always a dance break with us. That's another thing.
Hey.
We need to shake it up a little bit.
Too legit, yeah. Let's see hammer
time. Whoa. Okay, back to work.
Okay, sorry. Chanzo Tambuzi, one of our channel members. Super chat, raise them up high. I think maybe a Ranger Stop and Pop might be the place for the Alien Rangers. Wink, wink. So, have you heard anything about Alien Ranger action figures?
So, so first of all, thank you for thinking that I'd know anything. But my Brandon has said that there's been rumblings apparently that maybe Hasbro would reissue the Power Rangers. It's funny, I'm looking around. I remember. Do you guys remember? I remember walking into Walmart after I'd finished the show, and I bought an action figure of myself.
Yes.
You had to buy it. Let's just say
Yeah.
that.
We still
I had to buy it. Yeah. And I had a cousin at the time. Not a cousin. Yes, a cousin. He was maybe 7 or 8, and of course, kids who were 7 or 8 in the 90s, they were huge power. So I brought him a picture. We all signed it, and just recently I sold his house. He's in his 30s, and he pulled out a pristine in the package yellow Power Ranger action figure
Wow.
that he's kept like since he was a kid.
That's so cool.
Isn't that amazing? Like,
You should sign up for him. It'll be worth something then.
I know, right? I know.
Mhm.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Though.
Yeah. So I don't know. It would be very cool if they would. It seems like, I mean, the fans haven't forgotten our season. That is for sure. If there's one thing I've learned is they have not. It seems like Hasbro has, but we'll see.
They do. Hasbro does interesting releases though. Like
Okay.
sometimes it's like they don't release a whole season together. Like they'll release someone from a newer season, and then a Mighty Morphin, and then a monster.
Yeah.
And it's
Yeah. I'm sure there's a logic to it all, of course.
Yes, something. I don't know if there's logic, but all right. Ooh.
Game of Thrones, shall
I'm a
we?
Game of Thrones fan. That's my ringtone.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
So I've gone back because we missed a couple. And I don't want to miss any. Here we go. Ride with me. It's and Chonzo, I got your wink about Ranger Stop and Pop. I hear you on that. Ranger Stop and Pop is a convention that I co-own. So he's talking about you and the Alien Rangers coming there.
Well, I must say, this is kind of the thing we've been talking about is we're trying to think about if all 5 of us could get together, when and how should we do that for, maximum awesomeness.
Yeah, I think that would be a really, really great idea.
It would
It'd be
be
fun.
awesome to have you all together a
Yeah.
whole season. Yeah, I love that. Maybe even the kids too, like now they're grown up, like have the kids together.
I'd love to see my mini me. I haven't seen her since I went to her career day. When
Oh,
she
really?
was when
how
I was on the
cute.
show, she asked me to come to her career day, but that's the last I've ever heard of her. Yeah.
Sweet.
All right, Katie Munier again. Super chat, raise them up high.
Watching Raja write on Power Rangers Lost Galaxies episode Dream Battle, she is the voice of the monster Hexuba.
Oh.
Yeah, Raja does a lot of voiceover work. That's her profession now. She's very good at different accents and
Another one here.
Another one.
Bolton.
Oh.
It came in.
That you clicked on the wrong one,
darling. Oh, I
darling.
did.
Okay, Bolton Biggs, one of our channel members. Super chat, raise them up high.
Hey, Kat, Kia, and Jim, my question for you is, how did you do the effect where you stood on water to rehydrate? Word.
Yeah. Yes. How did we do that? How did we do that? I think they built a platform for us.
Oh.
It was made of glass, and I think it was just above the water. And they placed us all on it, right? Because we're all standing like on the water in Lake Castaic. It was a little platform they built. That's how they did it.
Oh, that's nice.
You could have fooled us and said it was magic.
I know. I was trying to think though. Remember, it was 93, so CGI was not a thing.
No. When we look back,
some of the effects.
Yeah, when I've showed my son, like I shared with you earlier, my 21-year-old and 18-year-old, they look back at Power Rangers and the effects and everything, and can't appreciate the nostalgia.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Well, that's like us watching Ed Wood movies, and you see the string and the UFO like going across the screen.
Right.
And people love that though. Like they're so into it. It's like got a cult following.
Yeah, it's true. I think we're good on the super chats. So then, if we are, then I have no, we're not.
One more. Super chat, raise them up high. Kat Nakia, you went past my super chat when I asked Jim my question. No, he didn't say it like that, really. He's just saying, Kat Nakia, you went past my super chat, which apologies, Scott. We're trying to scroll through.
See?
Hold
It was
scrolling.
at the beginning. Oh,
Oh.
okay. So we'll have to go back. Could you please check? Yes, Scott, we are checking right now so we can ask your question to Mr. Jim here. Scott lives in the UK and he's one of our platinum members, Jim.
A platinum member. Wow.
Gold,
Okay.
sorry, gold members.
Okay. That's why I didn't want it. So what happens on the chat is that they I'll bring the super chats
move up.
down and then they'll shoot up.
There it is. Oh no, is that it? No, that's the one he just sent.
Yeah, no, this one is down there.
Just one moment.
Well, you said that you had a signing recently. You didn't say how that signing. What actually you were telling us. How was the signing? How
And
did it
where
feel
was it?
being back?
What's that? Say it again.
How was the signing that you had?
I've done 2 signings. I did one in Erie, Pennsylvania. That was fun. And then where I live in Rochester, they have a little Comic-Con called Flower City Comic-Con.
Yes.
It was kind of a last minute thing.
that
Somebody
one.
canceled. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was there and it was amazing. The highlight was, as a matter of fact, a fan came dressed as me and he made me this prop.
Aww.
And he said, so somebody comes dressed as you and says, oh, by the way, I made this for you. I'm like, you mean like I can have that? And he's like, yeah, I made it for you. So,
Aww.
so Power Ranger fans are the best in the world. I don't,
Yeah,
you know,
I agree.
Very generous, sweet, kind people.
Yeah, it's amazing. I mean, this is like
Most of the
amazing.
stuff that I have is from the fans.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Helmets, and a fan made a cosplay costume from me. I've got toys from them. And a lot of our fans are extremely creative, so they've made beautiful props and just like they do such creative things. Some guys make pops of us that are custom made, and
it's
really
incredible,
amazing.
right? Yeah,
it's really amazing.
I'm really trying to find yours on here. It will not go back.
I think
Scott.
Type it in again. Don't.
I would say put it in again.
Type in the question and we'll read it. And we'll just scroll down. So you don't have to pay again, but just scroll.
And
down.
this may have to be my last question. I know there's
yes.
I think there's cake waiting for me.
Yes.
Oh, is it your birthday?
It is not my birthday, but
where's the cake coming from?
We have some friends of ours are leaving town, so we're celebrating them before they leave.
Oh, that's nice. Okay.
Yeah.
So just give us 1 minute to see if Scott can retype his question in.
While he's retyping,
Come on, Scott, you can do it, buddy.
Where can the fans find you?
That's
you on
a
Instagram?
great question.
Are you on Facebook?
You know, is
Instagram.
Brandon somewhere? Is Brandon somewhere in the chat?
We'll text him.
We'll text
Yeah.
Brandon. But Jim, you do have Instagram because we connected that way, isn't it?
Yes.
Jim?
So yes. So I would say the Instagram, not the
Jim
TikTok.
Gray. What's your address on Instagram?
That's a good question. It's an address of some sort.
I can tell them what it is because I know.
Okay, tell them.
Jim Gray Tidius.
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 There it is. Jim Gray Tidius. Yeah, go there, you guys, and like me or follow me or share me. I don't know. Whatever it is, as long as it's not weird.
That is correct.
Him. Follow him.
Brandon has confirmed that it is Jim Gray Tidius.
Okay.
See, memory today.
Good job.
It must have been the caffeine you gave me.
Yeah, I keep telling my daughter, I'm like, look, if this keeps going, I might become TikTok famous. And she's like, Dad, don't ever say that.
You got to work on those robot moves.
Yeah, I gotta. Right, I'm not. Yeah, I gotta dust that off.
Jim, thank you so much for being with us. Oh, it came up. His question. Go. Jim, did you make an appearance on Ranger of Two Worlds Part 1 and 2, the Alien Zeo Ranger crossover episodes? It's morphin' time.
Yeah, buddy. No, I didn't. We did. I know that Raj and Kareem, right? White and Black. Wait, was Kareem? Well, Kareem was black. Yeah. So I believe they did episodes after our season was done, but I never did another episode once my season was over.
Aww, I'm sorry.
Yeah, apparently I was not that impressive.
Neither did I.
Oh, okay.
The
Well,
yellow thing.
It's a yellow thing because
it's a
everyone
yellow thing.
in my season did return, but I did not. So I feel you on that.
Yeah, well,
Their loss.
Yes, yes. Thank you so much, Jen.
Hey, listen, you guys, thanks for having me. This has been a lot of fun.
Good. We
Thank
hope
you.
to see you in the near future.
Yes.
All right. Hopefully, I'll see you at
interested.
maybe a con sometime out in the future.
By the way, Bolton Biggs just said that he is now following you on Instagram.
Yep, yep.
Well done.
Woo! Look at me go! I have followers.
Yes, followers.
Have an amazing time eating your cake.
Yes.
All right, you guys.
Okay,
Bye.
bye.
Thanks so much.
Aw, that was so lovely. What a great
Yes.
guy. So nice to see him after all these years. And
Oh
I
my
didn't,
gosh.
to be honest, I would never have recognized him because he had the prosthetic head on when I worked with him.
So yeah, it was a little hard because all you could see is their eyes and,
Yeah.
and the bottom part here.
Yes.
That's amazing.
Yes, so I never got to see what he officially looked like.
Yeah. Let me take that
Aw.
off. Anything to share? You have a convention in January.
I do. Oh, at December, I have a virtual convention at GalaxyCon Live on December 19th with some of my Mighty Morphin Power Ranger cast, Karen Ashley, Austin St. John, Jason Narvi, and Paul Schreier, and David Fielding.
And Steve Cardenas.
And Steve Cardenas. Yes, so that's on December 19th, and you can go to galaxyconlive.com. And then January, I'll be in Central Florida Comic-Con, January 15th and 16th, I think it is.
We'll post it on the community page.
Yes, and then we have a bunch of other ones we're doing, which we'll be
It'll be
posting.
planned.
Yes,
Yeah, and we
yes.
love you too, Scott Biglicki. Thank you.
Yes, now, do we want to announce?
Yes. You guys have been amazing in following us, and as promised, Super 7, these were donated by Super 7
Look how
for
cute
our
he is.
giveaway, and we're
Isn't he
giving away to
cute?
2 subscribers. Now, we randomly went through all of our subscribers list and we're like, bing! And then we came up with 2.
Chose you.
We chose you.
And there was a lot to scroll through.
Oh, excuse me.
okay?
I got a little
Oh my
cold there.
goodness.
But we want you to know that we have other prizes to give away. So every 1,000 that we hit, we'll be giving away prizes. So our first winner is
Gabriel Johnson.
Woo! So make sure that you email us at Power Rangers
Playback
at
at
gmail.com. Oh, I could not come up with. I'll put it inside of the chat. And our second winner is Rain Dancer 12. Make sure that you email us at Power Rangers. I'll put that inside of the
Power Rangers Playback
Power
at
Rangers.
gmail.com.
Scene.
Yes. And I hope that you all have a wonderful holiday season. We have another live guest coming up, which is Wally, who is the
Yes.
Blue Psycho Ranger from In Space. He'll be with us in 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
And what else do we have to share?
And then it's enjoy your
the
holidays.
Eat and be merry.
Yes, I ate a little too much
Oh,
for Thanksgiving. It
me
was a little hard getting this pants on
Lord,
today.
good Lord. I ate everything I shouldn't. My joints were hurting. So swollen from all the sugar and gluten that I ate.
I was like, wait, I think I told you. I'm on this mango kick right now. I'm
Oh,
on
she
this
has
mango.
She's like I am
chili.
with Nutella with the mango.
I asked my husband coming back from Saratoga. I was like, "Could you please go?" Because I ate them all, the whole box, before I left. And I said, "Could you pick me up some?
Just
just some." And he didn't.
No.
So I got it the next day. But I got 3 boxes.
Oh no, it's gone.
I ate them all, and then I got 3 more.
Oh no. Well, my husband bought me a small Nutella, which you saw when you came over. It's gone. Gone.
But this was funny because I told Nick, I was like, "Can you help me? Because I'm
Help
just
me,
eating
please."
too much." So what happens is I go at nighttime, right before bed.
It's
And
fruit. You
it's
tell
like,
yourself it's fruit.
I just want another piece. So I opened up the box and I was about to go like this. My husband went, "Thank you."
Smacks it right out of your hand.
And I was dying.
Did you pick it up and eat it?
No,
See, I would have.
Yeah.
I would have been like, I would have gone red.
no,
and
because I
punched.
asked him to help me.
Right. But my kids try to help me with Nutella, and I say, give it to me. But then it's gone. It's gone now. And now I'll say to my husband, do not buy one more. Maybe for Christmas, I'll get one in my stocking.
Oh my goodness.
It's a worry.
You with Nutella and me with chili
But
mango.
at least mango is a fruit. Nutella has no nutritional value at all.
Well, I don't know that it has nutritional value with all of the chili powder and all that stuff that it has on it.
No, chili powder's good for you. It's good for the metabolism.
Sure,
Look
let's
at
roll
me
with
trying
that.
to make you feel
Yeah,
good about it.
it's not good for my
When you eat
metabolism.
a whole box of it, though, maybe not.
Yeah, not when you had to try to pull my pants on and it wasn't working. Like, I was like, come on,
You will fit me.
Thank you guys.
Bye.
See you in a couple
See you
weeks.
next time.
Bye.